ask that you rise as the Grand American flag makes its way down Main Street. J.J. Sealstead is carrying the American flag. She's the daughter of Paul and Jean Sealstead. The Montana flag is being carried by Amber Larson. And Robin Boyce carrying the Centennial flag. She's the daughter of Cleo and Mary Boyce. Car number 300 is driven by Travis Wilson. He is carrying the Grand Marshal Rosie Foreman. The 66 or 7 Olds Tornado was bought by Bill and Rosie, brand new. Looking good, Rosie. Number 301 is the 56 Ford Thunderbird, owned and driven by Paul Guys, and he's carrying the Grand Marshal Donald Smith. Good thing that Ford's going downhill. 302 is carrying the Grand Marshal Fran Stultz. She's being carried by Scott and Diane Lutz in their Willys Jeepster. Fran Stultz. Good to see you, Fran. 303, the Grand Marshal Tom Ford. He's in a 36 Plymouth owned by Robert Ellert, driven by Abby Hall. Tom is Abby's grandfather. .304, Grand Marshal Glenn Wildung. He's riding in a 78 Corvette owned by Keith Arnson. Number 305 is Grand Marshal Larry Wickens. We'll see lots more of the Wickens family as they have a float coming up later in the parade. He's riding in a 68 Chevy Chevelle, purchased in 1985 for $100. It's owned by Gordy Kaufman. And 306, Grand Marshal Gert Hamilton. She's riding in a 67 Ford Galaxy, bought originally in Lewistown, and it's owned now by Frank Carr. All of the Grand Marshals are born in the community. All are over 85 years old. Coming now down Main Street is the Albatuz Shrine Motor Patrol. Here's the Shrine Club uniform or whatever they... Yeah. announcements real quick. Corey Hagan, you have won a hat donated by Ray Osbjornson. And Jay Kettering wins an American Lutheran Church cookbook. You're watching Katie Karlstrom. She's got a beautiful Palomino horse using a side saddle. She's wearing Claire Crackling's wedding dress. She's the daughter of John and Kristen Karlstrom. Number 5 is Anna Slivka. She's the daughter of Aaron and Shane Slivka. Oh, embarrassing moments in life, Chris. You have to clean up your own mess. She's riding her horse called Skip. Her saddle is a George Lawrence Saddle Company saddle from Portland, Oregon. She's also got a George Lawrence rifle scabbard. Nice job, Anna. Give her a hand, folks. Next is the Knox family, Matt, Carla, and Sarah. The Knox Ranch out on the old Harry Ford place, north of Winifred. Good to see you, Matt and Carla. In the Arabian costume is Deanne Boyce, daughter of Gary and Marietta Boyce. She's wearing the Arabian costume. And her sister Bree is wearing the Native American outfit. I thought you were just sunburned. Both daughters of Gary and Marietta, Deanne and Bree. In the Charo outfit is Carrie McKean from Colon. Traditional Charo saddle, Appaloosa horse. Next is Aaron Hayden from Pigeon Falls, Wisconsin, riding on American paint and pony cross. Number 11 is Leanna Gloin. Just started riding this year. She's riding Little Appaloosa. Number 12 is Bill McKean, just along for the ride. Here comes the wagon owned by the Glass Farm and Ranch from Denton. They're 4th and 5th generation farmers and ranchers over in the Denton community. They now own Glass Trucking. Next we have the number 14s at DeMars Ranch. Joe and Jody are in the controls. Joanna is in the wagon. Samantha, Rebecca, and Anthony are riding horseback behind. And the family dog. Joe and Jody and family. Nice outfit, Joe. Next wagon is the Boyce Ranch, pair of Belgian horses, and a genuine Studebaker wagon. Being driven by Dee and Martha Boyce and Cole Hunsacker. Hi, Martha. Number 16 is Paul and Lindsay Rickel. They own and train horses at Mill Creek Quarter Horses out of Lewistown. Those little girls, I believe, belong to Lance and Emily Hagan. Okay, here comes the Latre family now. Including Leah, Asha, Helena, Rowan, Fiona, and Dolly, the zebra. The only zebra in the parade. Next we have number 18 is Darlene Tom and Savannah Robinson, representing the Tom Farms from over at Moore. Here's the Simac family wagon, driven by Jolene and Jeff Ellert from Winifred. Looking good, Jeff. Here comes the Butcher Rolling Hills Ranch. They're celebrating their 100th year in the community, homesteaded 1913. Ed and Pam and family, thanks for the barbecue yesterday. Enjoyed by many folks. And it's also their 50th wedding anniversary. Gracious sakes. Next comes 3 riders from the Easy Rider Saddle Club in Lewistown. Hi, Sarah. Heartland Riders, you bet, from Lewistown. Ed Butcher wagon? Okay. Ed Butcher horse and wagon, and with a woman driver. She's working with her training wheels. Here comes Travis and the flag of the Butcher Ranch and all the Butcher kids. And more. Okay, next will be the Reppy family, 75 years, Tom and Marion Reppy. All these little wagons were made by Tom Reppy. Longhorn Luns are back. Hanukkah and Tel Lundy, 199. Here comes the float from Mid-State Signs. Mid-State Signs, formerly of Lewistown, now Winifred. Make sure you kids pick up candy, not something else. All Mid-State Signs trucks. .201 is the Montana State Bobcats. Traveling promotional outfit. Sponsored by the MSU Alumni Foundation. Thanks to Norm Osbjornson. Number 202 is going to be the Stoltz Ranch. And the Judith River Floaters. Standing tall. Yep, every one of them tall. Is Rudy driving the truck? Yep, he is. I thought he'd be playing bingo in Valley Vista or someplace. Here comes the DY Garage. Tractor was bought from Oskar Osbjornson in 1918, the year the DY Garage opened. The implement was originally opened by Osbjornson and Moe, and then taken over by Big Oscar Sons Butnoski. Osbjornson family. There's Norman. Hi Norman, thanks for all you do for this community. Thank you very much. 204 is the Wickens Ranch. John L. Wickens homesteaded in 1911, 4 miles west of Suffolk. His sons Jack, Larry, and Tom started the Wickens Brother Construction in 1955. Matt, Eric, Diane, Dave, there's a bunch of them. .205 is the American Legion float. It's a 1956 Cushman golf car, restored by Edna Wagner's son-in-law. More American Legion. 206 is going to be the Bergam family entry. That little Model T was built by Jerry Bergam for the 63 Winifred 50th celebration 50 years ago. 207 is the Arnson Angus family, raised and registered Angus since 1955. Keith and Doug and families. Number 208 is Kim Brown. She is from Winifred and she's running for Miss Teen Montana this coming October. Kim Brown from Winifred. Number 209 is going to be the Winifred State Champs float. They won football state in 91 and 2009, girls basketball in 93, 95, 96, and boys basketball 74, 2008, and 2013. And the Bold Ranch. Hi, Bob, Spencer, and the coaches too. Todd, or Jim, excuse me, referees and coaches. Dave Udelhoven. All right. Number 210 is the Mayor Bowl, Deputy Duke, Ed Hageman crew. Mayor Bull. Putting a bite on crime. Here's the Wildung family celebrating 100 years in Winifred. .212 is the PN Ranch, originally started by Power and Norris in 1893, riding for the brand. Is that Blaine in there? There he is. .213, George and Eileen Econom family, the Model T. George drove in 1963 with their children in the 88 parade. Now he drove it in 88 with the grandchildren. Tonight, 13, Eileen's running it. These are the Dog Creek Cats. .215. Oh, the Dirksen family is .214. .216 is the Winifred FFA. Nice float, gang. Here's a class of 1962. 62. I thought it was 42. Oh, excuse me. Here's the Chevy by Dwayne's Park Chevrolet in Lewistown. And 219, here come the Greeks. The family started here by Nick and Helen Econom in 1938. The front sign says, "He who has the most knows the most." The best and only good-looking Greek gods and goddesses of Fergus County. All right, nice photograph. I was proud to know them both. They were great folks. There's the second generation. Yeah, Tom and George and some of the others. Okay, 307. Here's the Caceres in their 52 Chevrolet. 53, excuse me. Yep, still got a rumble. Hi, Sue. .308 is a 2013 Dodge Challenger owned by Ken and Terry Thompson. That's what it says. John Thompson is the person that donated that Tonka collection to the museum across the street. He's there in that car. John Thompson, thank you. Here comes the 1961 Metropolitan Nash. America's first attempt at the economy car, driven by Lona Phillip. They're still trying. 310's a 1978 Volkswagen Dune buggy driven by Mark Ehlert. 311 is Steve Ellert. 312, 71 Chevy owned by Donald Smith, driven by Rod Krieger. .313 is a 77 Cadillac Eldorado owned by Darrell Smith, driven by Mike Keitzer. We don't have anything to, let's say, 79 first. 77 Fiat, thank you. Here comes a 29 Chrysler Model 65 owned by David Baird, driven by Phil Baird. And the horn works. Good job, Phil. Number 316 is a 1956 International owned and driven by Ron and Betty Brinkman from over at Coffee Creek. Two weeks in a row, you guys are on the parade circuit. Good to see you. 317 is a 54 Chevy, owned and driven by Adrian Gasfoda, Big Sandy Country. 318, a 1925 Model T owned by Kelly Bolstead. Was in the parade in 1963. Driven then by Alvin Bolstead. .319 is a 38 Dodge Businessman's Coupe. Came all the way from Pendleton, Oregon. 320. 47 Willie's Jeep, bought from Tress Allen and restored and owned by Chuck and Dolly Lee. Driven by Rod Bowling from Denton. 321's a 53 Ford F100. Originally owned by Bud Lee from Denton, used on the farm. Now it's owned by Chuck and Dolly. 322 is a 35 Hudson Terraplane. Don Carver built this in memory of his grandson, Jace Jelinek. .323 is a 31 Pontiac, owned and driven by Joe and Dorothy Slivka from Denton, now Lewistown. .324 is a 72 Chevy 3/4 ton. It's a Stultz pickup driven by Rod Stultz, class of '68. Nate Stultz is the owner. .325, a 64 Comet Caliente, driven by Will Van Hour. .326 is a 63 Plymouth Valiant, owned and driven by Bob Farmer from Geraldine. Hi, Bob. Nice hat. Good to see you. 2 weeks in a row. Sober both times, I think. .327 is a 79 Ford F-150, owned and driven by Dan and Sherry Stilson from Lewistown. Okay, 328, 51 Chevy Bel Air, owned and driven by Tom Filt. Yes, sir, quite a car. 329, slowly coming down the road. It's a 64 Thunderbird, 100% original, owned and driven by Tom and Elaine Filt. This one's driven by Elaine. .330 is a 56 Lincoln Capri. It's taken 4 years to restore this. It's owned by Roy Peters of Roy. Looking good, Roy. .331 is an international pickup owned by Paul Burnham. Driven by Paul. .332 is a 57 International, owned and by Paula Burnham, driven by Paula. Good job, Paula. Where's your real estate sign on the side? Yeah. Stop in and have a cup of coffee on her at the Empire Cafe. .333, another international pickup owned by the Burnhams. This one's driven by Pat. .318 is a Model T owned by Kelly Bolstead. 1925 Model T. Here comes the number 334. Here's a 25 Model T. 1 ton, owned by Billy Arthur. Just got it running yesterday. Hi, Bill. Son of Tony Arthur from Suffolk. It was Tony's dream to have that truck in the Centennial Parade. Well, they finally made her. 335 is a Ford four-door sedan owned by Bob Worley, driven by Lorraine with all the grandkids. '52 Ford F1 owned by Jerry Jenkins of Lewistown. Thanks, Jerry. 337 is a 1941 Dodge Army truck owned by Don Smith, driven by Gary Boyce. If you want a good, comfortable ride, don't do that one. All right, here's the 338. It's a 66 Olds Tornado owned by Mac Wendland. 339 is a 55 Ford owned by Daryl Smith, driven by Jim Pearson and Raleigh. Sitting pretty close there, kids. .340. Oh, who is this? Mick Jimerson, really? Good to see you, Mick. It's a 70 Harley he's driving. 341 is a, or excuse me, 342. 49 Plymouth, Special Deluxe, ridden by Greg Matzik. And 343 is a 69 Chevy Chevelle, owned by Keith and KT Karlstrom. Here's the farm equipment now. These are, this is the way it was. And then we're going to see new machinery. 400 is Mark Hagem's 8N Ford pulling Daryl Smith's McCormick binder. 401 Daryl Smith's MD Farmall pulling Daryl's case threshing machine. .402 is going to be Matt Wickens, his 1928 Chevy truck. This was Frank Casero's dad's truck. Hi, Dwayne. Good to see you. Dwayne and Keith or Kevin, one of the boys there. 403 is Les Slivka's Farmall 75A. That's a 40-foot header on that. 40 foot. Gene Mendel, if you're listening, you want a pair of gloves over in the community center, stop over and pick it up. 404 combine belongs to Slivka Grain and Ag. It's a K7230, Case IH. Is the Slivka's 2006 Peterbilt grain truck. Laurie Anderson, if you're paying attention, is this the real Laurie Anderson? Sleepy Hollow cap and flashlight over at the community center. 406. Here's your John Deere. Belongs to the Stoltz Ranch. It's a John Deere 720 diesel. TJ, good to see you. It's pulling a Studebaker wagon. Last wagon sold by Winifred Hardware. And all the Stoltz grandkids and great-grandkids. Here comes Slivka grain. Lester's driving the Minneapolis tractor that his dad purchased. Shane's driving a 1955 John Deere 70. He's going out to feed the heifers. Got some help in the back wagon there. Emily Luke and Matt Slivka. Looking good, Matt. .409 is a truck owned by Darrell Smith. It's a 46 Ford. He's the original owner. Original owners were the Stensley Ranch, the Bar Am Hart Ranch. Number 410 is going to be Darrell Smith's 1954 R170. Bought new from the DY Garage. Here's the little David Bradley tractor, a pair of them. Tom Philp and the David Bradley tractors, 1.5 horsepower. Dusty Philp on the far side. .412 is Dusty Philp driving a Earl Philp. This case, Model D, was originally bought by Charles Philp. Had steel wheels. .414 is Joe Florence, 4020 John Deere. He's the original owner. .415 is Robert's Red Angus Ranch, 1955 TO35 Ferguson, owned by Will Van Hour. .416 is a 49 Minneapolis U, bought new from Fred Crow Implement, owned by Howard Ellert. .417 is 53 John Deere M, owned by Jerry Van Hour. Larry Tuss, if you're listening, we have a bottle of wine for you at the community center. .418 is Jerry Van Hour driving a 53 Ford NAA Golden Jubilee. Number 420 is Chuck Lee's McCormick W30. This was bought originally by Bud Lee. Jay Lee is the driver right now. All from Denton. .419, 57 Minneapolis G Propane. This originally was owned by Zeph Ronish from Denton. Kim Hansen, you won a cookbook over at the community center. Limpus family cookbook. Here's Dan Mason driving the 47 McCormick W4. Russ Mason driving it, isn't it? That's Russ. Yeah, it is. Good to see you. Number 422 is a Ford 2N, owned and driven by Bob Summerhuckle from Lewistown, originally from Roy. Tommy Thompson, you won a Sleepy Hollow hat and flashlight over at the community center. Stop over and pick it up. .423 is a 44 McCormick H, driven by Dan Mason. .425 is Frank Grimmel, driving a 39 John Deere model BN. Kathy Smith, you won a door prize over at the community center. Stop over there after the parade. You're working pretty hard, Frank. Make sure you drive right by the bar. .425 is a float by Witchman Ag Supply. Craig and Tammy Witchman. Vermeer balers and rakes, and now they're dealers for Heston. .426, 1950 McCormick WD9, driven by Mike Schmidt, in memory of Werner Schmidt. 1950 WD9. Boy, that's running good. Wow. Number 500. This is the first rural fire engine, bought in 1977. It's a 69 International, still in service. .501's the Winifred Rural Fire District. .502, another. This is the East engine. .503 is the Polaris Ranger and Rescue Boat for the Winifred Fire District. Must be a teenager running that truck. .505 is a Roy Fire District, stationed at the new fire hall in Roy. .506 is the Hildreth Fire Department, stationed at the new fire hall. .507 is the Denton Rural Fire District, 2-ton with 3 brush trucks. .508 is their main fire engine over in Denton. Oh, Winifred, excuse me. .509 is the truck on loan from the DNRC stationed in Winifred. And you have the Roy ambulance and the Winifred ambulance, and we hope that nobody has to use those this weekend. We'll do some more drawings now for door prizes, folks. Why don't you give all the participants in the parade a tremendous round of applause, and thank you for being here for the 100th year celebration. They may circle back and come up Main Street again, so just be watching if they do. If they don't, enjoy the afternoon, and we'll see you at the next 200th celebration. Kim and Rudy Stoltz bought a Sleepy Hollow hat. Neil Rich won a bottle of wine, compliments of Gus Anderson.